Welcome back after a long hiatus for the winter holidays, because in space, everyone gets time off for the holidays. Of episode 17, I believe, of Into the Black. I'm your benevolent overlord of space, Lincoln. Tonight, my players are all here delightfully in the
Yay!
top. Hallelujah. In the top left, we have aggressively eating a bowl of ramen, just the way his character would. Jake playing Pip, the Yosoki mechanic.
This is
In the
legit Akatonian food because it's spicy spaghetti.
spicy spaghetti. Well, anything that makes that hides the smell of rocket fuel. In the top right, playing Clob, the magic murder machine. Everyone's friend and Brandon. Brandon.
Hello. A little bit sick, but present.
Kind of makes it work better. In the bottom left, after a long hiatus, back to crack this case wide open and get a whiff of that sweet, sweet truth, is Percy, played by Alex. Excuse me. And last but certainly not least is the the buff bureaucrat, Menala Ufudrakis. When last we left our heroes, they were about to dig into a giant plate of garbage loaf made by Mrs. Pip's mom. Surrounded by their family, and one of them, I forget who, they'll tell me who, is hiding on their person or downstairs probably a secret communications device, a two-way connection to the notorious pirate captain and terrorist Jan Vokulis, who has offered them answers to any question they like.
True.
I imagine that Pippin.
Pip, I was just telling your father about you and how we're so proud of you. You're with your mechanic and your friends and your ship.
I imagine
We're
that
so happy to have you back.
Pip and Minala are just like angrily eating and staring at each other.
Yes, you're barely responding to your mother's just praise being heaped
Or we're
on
like
you.
glaring daggers at each other.
It's becoming rapidly apparent that in his absence, Pip has gone from, a unremarkable middle son who helps out at the scrap farm and at the shop to probably the family's favorite son.
I feel like that always happens when people leave.
And by association, all of you are guests of honor.
Am I here? Have I?
Yes, you're back. You had to check on your family, but you're back.
Great. Garbage loaf.
Yosoki garbage loaf, the good stuff.
Nice.
Oh, it's great.
They put like little nuts in there,
Oh yeah, it's good.
I think before you were with the ship, but
shells and all.
you can totally handle the ship.
And
Bree. And Bree's there, so yeah.
Klob, you have like some indeterminate dozens of small Yosoki children climbing all over you.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm just digging into the food. Ooh. Want some?
They do.
I'm just eating a bunch of these loaves. Is it just one huge one or is it a bunch?
It's one huge one that they give you slices of, and the slices are like bigger than your face.
That's fine. I'll take like 3.
And you have a big face.
It's an Isoki hot dish.
You are well on your way to becoming Uncle Klob. If any of you have anything you'd like to talk about over dinner, you may now. If not, then dinner processes normally. Dishes are washed. It's your younger sibling's turn to do dishes.
I want to help with dishes.
You can help. Just like helping out his mother cook, you are no help with the dishes. They've got this wild assembly line going that involves throwing dishes and breaking some.
It's like a Disney movie.
Yes, some of the things that you catch are not a dish. They're like a hubcap, and they're like, "Yep, thank you." And
It's
then
the dwarves in Bilbo's kitchen.
It's the dwarves in Bilbo's kitchen, but a bunch of small rats.
Yeah.
And before
Rat
you really
folk, please.
rat, sorry, before you really have a chance to understand how this assembly line even works, they're done.
Perfect.
Your dad, your father, Pip, you see him bringing down like extra bedding, the guest blankets. She says, I normally don't like people down in my workshop, but it's you and your friends, and you're probably used to a little more privacy, so you can all stay down there tonight.
If he offers the blankets to me, I'll accept them and just say this is so gracious. You've been so kind. Everything is lovely.
Well, the least we can do. We're Pip's friends.
Very nice of you, but I usually heat the room anyway.
He's quite the hero.
We're so happy to have him back. Even if it's just a visit.
Who's got the device right now?
Either it's down in your dad's workshop, or you or Maynala have it.
I would bet that a neutral third party like Klob might have taken it,
Klob does like blinky things.
and we were fighting over it.
So let's say Klob has it.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I
Neutral
feel
third
It
party.
just he holds it above his head and it spins for a second. Legend of Zelda style.
I am going to say telepathically to our party. The stewards from downtown are already on the way for this device. If we're gonna use it before we have to hand it over, we should just go do it now.
I'm okay with that.
I don't think it's a bad idea to get some questions. I'm very reluctant, but I'm trying to
We
compromise.
wanted a chance to. Pip wanted a chance to use it before the stewards got a hold of it
Right,
and lost
yeah,
that opportunity. But you still want the stewards to eventually have it, so that seems good.
I'm trying. I am attempting to compromise, so we'll see how that goes over with it. But
It's the only chance we're going to get to use it, so let's use it.
Surly bench. All right, cool. Sounds good.
We're all friends here.
All right.
All right. So you go downstairs into the workshop. You hook it all back up. You turn it back on. You get the little ASCII loading symbol. And then... And it's yawn again. He says, welcome back.
Sorry. We would have decided this before, but who's taking point on this?
You.
We were obscuring your visuals last time. Are we just
I would like to do that again anyway.
Reset tachometer?
Reset tachometer. Set your dropdowns.
Ah.
We sound like some kind of bomber crew.
Tachometer
Roger.
reset.
Tachometer
Move to
reset.
set
Dropdown
dropdowns.
set. Over the target in 5. So, Maynala's on point. I assume Percy would want to be right there with a way to show Maynala questions to ask,
Yeah, I'll have the cue cards up.
just off camera.
Yeah, just a big marker.
All right.
I'm working on making fog clouds, but I can't do it yet.
Gonna say
Are you gonna leave the telepathic link open?
for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can leave it open.
Okay.
He can only hear us telepathically, right?
No, he's hearing us through the comms.
Oh, okay.
So we can talk telepathically for him
talk
not to hear us,
telepathically,
and
yeah.
out loud for him to hear us.
Yeah, so we'll do this for between all of us, and then
When we don't
Anything
want
out
him to
loud
hear
he
it.
can hear.
anything out loud he can hear.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
This thing on?
We came for some answers. Just to say if they'll be the truth.
I have no reason to lie.
That remains to be seen. What are the biological weapons and materials you've been gathering?
I haven't been gathering any.
That
That's
your
what we're talking about.
that your minions may be gathering.
They haven't gathered any either. It's Harper who has all the biological weapons.
Harper.
Yes, Counselor Harper.
Wait, she was giving a speech.
He was giving a speech, yes, on Absalom Station. I know. I'm saying this over comms.
This is Jake realizing.
Alex and I went over all the session notes,
Yeah.
very recently. So yeah.
I believe she is at the moment, yes.
So Harper's working for him?
No, I think Harper's opposing him.
And why would Harper want to collect those?
Getting to the page. There it is.
Doing
Cool.
great. Doing great.
He says, I believe to release them on Castroville.
To what end?
Who's to say? I think she's come unhinged long ago. If I had to guess, fake a swarm attack, gain more political influence, consolidate power.
That war ended years ago.
Not if you ask her. She's still fighting it.
Sorry, this is out of character, this one, sorry. What do I know about Counselor Harper's military record, if anything? If I know nothing, that's fine too.
During the swarm, she's very famous.
Okay.
You've probably seen a biopic about her.
60 Minutes.
Oh yeah, totally. She was a powered armor commando during the Swarm War. And during the war, fought with distinction, was promoted, became a general, and led fleets to victory all over the system. Many credit her with winning the war. And after the war, she was elected as the defense counselor on the Pact Council. She runs the stewards. She's like the Secretary of Defense.
Right. I do recall that she runs the stewards. And
She's a famous public figure.
how long has she held that position, approximately?
She pretty much since the war ended.
Which was a couple years ago.
Yeah. Maybe a decade and a half, decade or two. She's had the job a while. She's from Castroville.
Is she a Lashunta?
She's a human. She's part of there's some human communities on Castroville. She's from there.
So she.
Her sort of home and her sort of primary diplomatic office is still there.
All right. Why would she want to attack her own home planet?
God, if I know, some kind of crazy martyr complex.
I guess it would look better if she was rallying people because it was a personal attack on her.
Do we want to continue this line of questioning, or should we move on to asking about Blue Ion?
Let's go to the next line.
What is your relationship with Blue Ion?
Well, most recently, I've been blowing up their shipments.
Yes.
Blue Ion is Regirax and his company. He's Harper's little dragon pet. He handles all the logistical things that she can't pull strings to do behind the scenes with the stewards. Man, material, smuggling, manufacturing.
Specialists.
He's got most of his corporation reallocated to help her. At least that's what I've been able to glean.
Why is he telling all of this to us?
I don't know.
He doesn't trust us. Who are we to him?
It sounds like a crazy conspiracy theory still to me. So, and he has offered no evidence for any.
So it's incredibly legitimate, is what you're saying.
This is really making sense to you, Percy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That remains to
I'm
be
trying to
seen.
understand. This whole time we've been thinking we were fighting one enemy. Of course, it's actually another enemy. How deep does it go?
I expect you'd want some evidence.
Yes.
He pushes a button, and you start getting a file download very slowly. It's very low bandwidth, this connection. And he says, I know most of this because I was working for her. She recruited me to be, I suppose, a blunt instrument in her plans. However, as soon as I was no longer useful to her, she tried to have me killed. It turned out that it was harder to do than the assassin expected, and I escaped stealing this data. As the file completes, you can open it, and it is lots of numbers, lots of like very raw data for sort of trials for this biological agent, this mutagen.
She experimented on you.
Not on me. This was already done when I met her.
I'm gonna skip to our final question.
If you look at the stuff, you can see, like case fatality rate, subject species, all that stuff, and then at the bottom, circled is fatality rate 65%.
Is this the kind of is this the kind of info that we can like actually discern like what it is the cause of? I know that he's been looking at it, but is this something that we can see on this like connection, or is it too fuzzy and crap to
What do
see
you mean?
anything important?
He sent you a file. You have the file.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
text file.
Then is that like actually information about what the agent is, or is
Yeah.
that just like stats, like metadata?
It's lots of stats, and you can go through other pages and you see sort of notes about like protein configuration and anti-biological agent countermeasures they're trying to build into this thing. It's incomplete, but looking at it, it has a lot in common with the stuff you've seen.
Okay.
And
What about this is actually evidence that
Jake, is this
Harper
sorry?
is
You need
involved?
to do this.
Sorry.
Is this,
No.
Yeah.
What about the? I'm asking Lincoln. What about this is actually, like you said, this is evidence. This is just data about the mutagen. What piece of this makes it evidence? What connects it to Harper?
Nothing on this document connects it to Harper.
Okay, so it's not really. He said this is evidence of the Harper
He's like
thing, but it's not.
He says he stole it from Harper,
Okay. So it's still not proof.
and he said he worked for her and she tried to kill him.
All right.
Right.
No proof, no evidence.
You could ask for something that would be more compelling.
All right.
What is your original biological race?
He says, I think human.
How do you not know?
The memories from before the procedure are fuzzy.
He's Weapon X.
When was this procedure performed?
He says, during the Swarm Wars, part
By
of a special weapons program the stewards were doing, along with my ship and most of my equipment.
the chain.
I stole that too.
The chain breaker is from the Swarm War.
Towards the end. Was never deployed.
So is his attack on BlackRock part of stopping Harper's plan?
Could always ask him.
Manila, you want to ask about that?
I'm
You can
trying to
ask
take
Percy.
notes so I don't forget anything Lincoln said. Hang on one second.
I've got things written down.
Stall and talk. Enter telepathic for a sec while I write these down.
Percy, ask.
I'll just ask. Same question.
What do you ask?
Was his attack on it was called
BlackRock.
BlackRock, right? The station? Was that part of sabotaging Harper's plan? He said he's been trying to take down her organization.
Oh, a new voice. Yes, it was.
What part of their there were innocent people on there. Why?
Which I did not kill if they complied with my instructions. I needed a base.
It's who?
I've been gathering forces, mostly defectors from free captains. The occasional steward ship fed up with her leadership.
You got any proof of all this?
Sorry, wait, pause. Hey,
Here's
stop.
some-
Okay, wait, no, wait, stop. Sorry, like out of character. Wait, what was the question Alex asked?
Was BlackRock Station part of your plan? And he says yes, he needed a base to gather his forces.
And to get people, right? Okay, sorry.
He says, you four being there was a happy coincidence. You provided valuable intelligence.
I think he knows who we are.
And I said, you got any proof of all this? I mean, this is some pretty lofty claims, and this
What would you
text
like?
file doesn't really implicate Harper.
What would you like? I can't send much through this bandwidth. Videos of me and Harper in the same room together?
Do
Something
you
like
have
something
any,
incriminating like
logs
that,
from
yeah.
Harper that imply her plan, especially like on Castrovel?
She kept her plans very close to the chest.
I know. Sorry. Telepathic.
Pushes some more buttons, and now a big audio file is coming.
I'm also gonna say over telepathic to all y'all. What I would like is a biosample from him, because then Percy and I could analyze it in the lab and see if part of what he's saying about his own transformation is true.
It's not really related, but sure.
Really interesting. Okay.
It was like a personal thing to ask for. Can we have your 23andMe?
I'm gonna move along through some of the other questions. Are you religious?
He looks confused. He says, when you've seen the things I've seen, you either become devout and move closer to the sun, or you stop.
I take
Do
it
you
by the
believe
fact that you
that-
don't live that close to the sun that it was the latter.
I burn easily.
Do you believe that the dragon's connection to their religion, their cults, is what's driving them to help Harper? Or is there some other motive for Redrax to be helping them? Is he getting defense contracts from her for all of
I would
this?
assume that in exchange for helping her, he's going to get a lot of business. But dragons,
Who knows? They're crazy.
you get this sort of oddly human shrug from this strange monstrous form.
Why are you
Sort
telling us all of this? We're just some, strangers. We were a liability to you before.
It's true. I'm trying to.
Questioning.
What?
I'm yelling at Pip over telepathic. Say, I'm doing the questioning.
He says it's true. A third voice. You used to be and still are a liability to me. But I'm hoping to make you a bigger one to Harper. What do you think you've been doing on these missions?
Making money.
You've been tying up loose ends for her.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
What?
We have totally been cleaning up after her operations.
Besides working directly.
Who do you think owns that helipad, that launch pad you just destroyed? It's mine.
Sorry, did we destroy a helipad?
Yeah.
The
base.
That base. He's like,
For the black masks?
yeah.
Yeah.
Those bandits, the Black Masks, were working for me, funneling me resources for what I'm planning. Bloodglave's one of mine.
Yeah, we knew that.
And
That's
what
how
of
we
the
got
local
those.
citizens? Are they just fodder for this personal vendetta you seem to have against Harper?
Did you say citizens?
Yeah.
Yeah, caravans and stuff.
No, I'm saying like the black masks have been The black masks have been terrorizing people.
Yeah. That's what Brandon
That's what
said.
I'm saying. So, yeah.
Like
Do
caravans.
you know
and
what the
stuff.
population of Castrovel is right now?
I bet Minala would know that number and rattle it off.
6.58 billion.
6.58 billion.
6.58 billion. What's 65% of 6.58 billion?
I rattle that number off instantly.
Well, if it were 100 billion, it would be 65 billion.
He says,
It's 427700000. What is that? 4
The
billion.
answer is 42.
4.27 million or billion.
4.27 billion. I'm willing to trade a few dusters and a few pirates for that and my revenge.
Revenge? Just for her trying to kill you?
She betrayed me.
Yeah, but you seem to be okay. I mean, you made off pretty well. You've got a station, you've got the chain breaker, you've got all these people. I don't know. Revenge seems petty for a guy of your scale.
I'm flattered.
Who would you be communicating with that you would need the kind of cutting edge encryption that we've seen from you before?
My agents. Bloodglaive, my assassins. I have more operations like hers throughout the system.
And regular encryption isn't good enough for you?
If you think Harper doesn't have a backdoor into every commercially available encryptor,
This is my research area.
Is it?
where do you think I got it? I need
So
to
what do you
make
want us to do with all of this information you're giving us?
I'm hoping for you to become a problem for her. Specifically, hang on, notes.
Wait.
Specifically, I plan to go to Castrovel and stop her. I'm going to pick apart every one of her plans until she's forced to come out into the open.
So you want a trial for her?
I want her dead.
How about a trial?
A
And then
trial?
maybe they can, through the justice system, decide that she dies.
Do you think a trial
I
would
don't know about
convict
capital
her?
punishment. I
You're
guess.
a pussy. He's crazy. Stop trying to reason with him.
I'm just saying, if you go in and you kill her, we might lose any evidence we have to bring her plan out into the open.
Wait, hold on.
Don't you want to be exonerated?
The Packworld's Navy has a history of cover-ups. This is not going to change anything.
Percy, what if we become the spies? What if we just say that we're going to do what this guy wants, and that way we can, do all the research we want and figure out who's really... Yeah.
There's enough cover-ups in the world, man. I don't want to be part of it. I want to uncover stuff.
He
Sorry, are you
says,
saying, Alex, are you saying this over this or no? Are you saying it out loud?
I'm saying this to Jan.
Okay.
Oh.
Don't
He
we want people to
says-
know the truth?
You can't handle the truth!
he says, about
Thank you.
I'm not one for subterfuge, not like she is. That's why she recruited me. I plan to burn every steward base on Castrovel to the ground.
Okay.
I know I can do it. So that no matter where she's hiding this agent, I'll get it. I'll take her decades of work and burn it.
What makes you think that they won't just detonate it the minute they see your attack coming?
Trust me. I have a plan. If you want to stop me, find Harper. And kill her. Or give her to me. That, or tell me where she's keeping all of this reagent, and I'll only blow up that base.
I mean, the finding her part is pretty easy. She's on Absalom Station giving a big old speech.
If we could assure you that we would get a hold of and destroy the entirety of the agent, would you not attack the people that are based there? I know the stewards are the tools that Harper is using to enact this horrible plan, but they're not all of them directly responsible.
He says,
Yeah, we got lumped in with those guys.
a bunch of jets and steward grunts can be replaced easily. They're all just equipment to her. But this mutagen she's made, she's poured billions of credits into. Decades. Years of her life. That is the only thing she can't easily replace.
What's her goal with this program? Just to restart the war?
He says, clearly she's trying to gain power. Stoke fear of another swarm war to
Classic
put the
Palpatine move,
stewards,
funding the separatists.
put the stewards in charge.
Wait, guys, I know we've been making pickle jokes the whole time, but is this actually just the plot of the prequels? Chancellor Harper is moving for unlimited power!
I'm pretty sure Jan Volkos is a mixture of Count Dooku and General Grievous.
He's like 3 characters.
Count Grievous, General Dooku.
Count Grievous. Because I like that his name's just Grievous. Count General Grievous.
Dooku's
This
Sith
is
name was great.
Commander Awful.
It was Darth Tyrannus. Everything's gotta be so fucking evil.
It's so great. Alright, so yeah, that's what he's saying.
That dinosaur.
No, but like, so her goal is, sorry, Lily's trying to be clear at this point. He's saying her goal is to use this biological weapon. It's some kind of mutation reagent. Release it to the entire planet of Castrovel. Kill
Kill
everyone.
4 billion people.
Stress everybody out.
Then go to the Senate and be like, the attack on my life has left me scarred. Give me more emergency power. Etc., etc.
Sure. Am I understanding this correct?
Yes, that is correct. That is what he believes is her plan to be.
Has that audio file finished yet?
It has.
Can you... I hit play. Lincoln, I would like you to reenact the audio file.
Ha ha ha.
Harper? Captain? Did you get the coordinates? I did. Would you like any prisoners? No, not this time. He's like, understood. And he says, and the surrounding population? Well, I'd prefer it if you didn't. It's expensive to cover up, but this is important. I think I understand. And she says, "Good luck." And he says, and then he just hangs up. It's definitely Harper's voice, like you've heard on TV, but it's the future. I mean,
Still not definitive proof.
you can edit this stuff.
It could be a deep fake.
Any digital thing he could send you is not definitive.
Right.
Yeah, but okay. Pip,
It's so easy to fake it.
over comms, I guess, or telepathic link. Pip, we have the file. If you can get it off of this machine, we can analyze it later and see if it's cut together from other pieces.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready to be done talking to him. Anybody else has anything to say?
He says, Jan says, it looks like you're about to have company.
How can we contact you again? We might lose this means.
He says, you probably can't.
Oh, sorry.
He says, you probably can't contact me again. And it looks like you're about to have company. I know nothing I can send you over this link will be definitive. And I don't know much about digital forensic analysis. I've told you what I know. My plan is going forward. If you want to stop it, I think you can save a lot of lives. You little steward contractors like that sort of thing, don't you?
While he's monologuing, I'm gonna open the door and be like, Lynn! And when one of my siblings comes down, go up to the balcony and see if anyone's down on the street. Text me your answer.
Very quickly after you get a text.
Can I telepathic Claude to tell him to start downloading the files?
Yeah, of course.
Very quickly, you get a text, Pip, that says, bunch of cops blocking off the street. Or a bunch of stews.
Yeah, a bunch of stews. I said, Manala, we can't give them this box, and we need to get the fuck out of here now. They're blocking off the street. They're not doing that if they were coming over for a friendly visit to pick up a box.
What?
This is about to turn into a Jason Bourne movie.
Wait, why would they block off the street?
They're expecting a fight.
There's no fight. We'll give it right to them. You can sabotage something in the back if you have to.
Hey.
You can sabotage part of it if you really, really need to, but get the file.
Jan says, I have a feeling you all need to focus. If I hear from you, I hear from you. If not, good luck. And he hangs up.
I'm saying they wouldn't block off the street if they were planning to just pick it up and then let us go. They know something's
this looks like
up.
a raid.
This looks like a raid.
You get a text, Pip. Wow, Pip, that's a really big truck they have. I'm kind of scared.
Pip, you should get your family down here in like a fucking crawl space or something.
I text back. I say, get everyone down to the basement and through the tunnel. Like, everybody out. In fact, I just open the door upstairs and I start naming people and like everybody down in the tunnel, everybody out.
They know the drill.
Doing a head count.
Cool.
There are go bags.
Sorry, this is comms.
Doing a head count. It is suddenly chaos, controlled chaos, as Pip's entire family floods out. Everybody's got a little bag on their shoulder. His mom's by the door going like 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, like counting everybody as they all rush out this little tunnel in the back. And then his dad stops and says, Pip, what's going on?
I say, stews.
I'm saying over comms, I'm going out into the street. I'll see what I can find out and maybe stall them. I'm just going to go out.
You know where we'll be. You know how to reach us. Please tell us when you're safe.
Will do, Dad.
And he pulls the panel in front of the secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel!
Oh, to escape the police.
Of course, there's a secret tunnel in any Soki house.
It's like not. There's a holiday where you like rededicate the secret tunnel.
Yeah, you go in, you like make sure it's secure, structurally sound. Maybe add a new wing.
Cool.
Anybody got a light? Because this thing, the computer, doesn't do that.
A light?
Isn't it dark in here? It's a secret tunnel.
We didn't go in the secret tunnel.
We're not
yet.
going in the secret
The
tunnel.
family went in the
Oh.
secret
First
tunnel.
of all,
Just
I don't think you would fit.
It's not really a clob-sized tunnel
It's
I
intentionally
see what you
small.
mean.
to make it so the stews can't follow you.
Got it.
Anybody, any home invader can't follow you.
The Stooges. Oh, there you go.
Bunch of stooges downstairs. Yeah, stooges. That's the derogatory term for stewards.
It must be Stoops.
You can see as you're now sort of up in the house. You can see the yellow light of a steward.
Siren.
Arrestor patrol.
Yeah, when while
Through the
they were
windows.
evacuating, I'm trying to like calmly go out to the street and see what's going on and maybe stall or just figure out what the hell's going on. I don't know what I believe at all right now.
Guys, are we going to hand over the tablet or are we going to smash it?
Let me see what they say they want first.
You're going outside?
Yeah. I'm like while the evacuation was going on, I was like, I want to calmly go out there and like talk to somebody and see what I can find out.
There are steward arresters who are like in sort of scary, imposing armor with sort of shock batons. And these are the guys who bust in places to arrest people. And one with a megaphone in the truck says, "You are ordered by the authority of the Pack Worlds to come out unarmed. Put your hands above your head.
Oh, wait, no.
I do that.
Get on the ground."
It's just my Nala going outside.
It's
Cloud.
just me, and I'm like, what?
Club's inside doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
How far away is he from me?
Snipers, man.
Maybe 60 feet.
What's going on? I'm like starting really slowly.
Get on the ground.
I'm going really slowly and doing it, but
He's getting louder and angrier as you do.
okay. I'll be like all the way down, I guess.
You get on the ground.
Yeah, my hands are still above me and I have no weapons.
2 officers come over and start cuffing you. They're walking towards you with energy cuffs.
And I'm saying,
What are we going to
I
do?
want to help. What's going on?
They cuff you.
Can
Flash me your badge.
I try to daze them before they do it?
Sure.
Like,
Can
they
you do
won't
more than
talk
one
at
person?
all, right?
They've got the like gold-plated helmets. There you don't see their face, and they're supposed to be scary.
Like
They
Riot
are
Gear.
arresting you.
Yeah.
They are arresting you.
I'm going to try to do daze, and then
Is
get
it
out of
like a
it.
cone? Or is it a single target?
It just says, let's see. Oh, it's only one. So I can do it to one and then try to run away from the other.
Mhm.
They get a will save.
Cool.
It's not
Oh.
her. Let's see.
Dang it.
I don't know what else I would have to really help.
Stupid thing is loading. He rolled a 13.
Ah, he fails. It was 14. Okay, so that's good. So he is dazed for 1 round, and he is unable to take actions.
Cool.
The other guy, can you tell me a little bit more about how the cuffs work? Are they like magnetic, kind of
Yeah, they're like,
like really strong magnets?
Yeah.
I'm gonna use psychokinetic hand. It's also close range, so it's also more coming towards me on the other guy, and have him like cuff the other guy.
give me a wisdom check to like be psychokinetic.
At worst case, just seal them shut because then he can't put them on you.
Yeah, I mean, I just want them to not be able to go on me.
If you just shut them on nothing, like that's.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
He now has to unlock them before he can put them on you.
yeah, okay, that's fine. A wisdom save?
A wisdom check.
A wisdom check. I don't even
Roll a d20 and add your
I don't
wisdom.
even whiz.
win it. -1, apparently.
What'd you get?
The shoot to
14 minus 1, so 13 total.
13. Okay, what are you doing?
I'm just like doing that and then gonna run back into the
Like,
house.
are you trying to make him put it on the other guy, or just
No.
close them?
Just close them. Just make them inoperable.
You push the button that makes them close, and they go punk. And he's like, "Look."
And
You have,
like,
like, a-
all that is happening that I'm trying to book it.
Cool. You turn around before they get to you. They're like 15 feet away from you, and the first guy kind of like, you get back inside. He kind of shakes out of his daze. They look back at their commander, and he sort of like gives them a motion, and 2 more guys come forward.
All right. As soon as she's in the door, I'm gonna press basically the panic button by the door. Like
Excellent. Yes,
all the locks.
Sort of These sort of, oh, the locks go and like a metal thing goes in front of the door. It's not much.
It'll slow him down.
It's meant to slow him down and be scary, like to deter someone, like a drunk guy banging around.
Yeah.
So they get to the door, and you see one of them pull out, sort of through like one of the barred windows, this sort of plasma cutter. Like his armor goes, and he's got this little cutter.
Does it have to like clamp onto the door, or is it just like ranged?
He's working on attaching it to the door right now, and it's like.
Okay, I'm gonna say I
And we can
don't
see
know
that,
what
right?
they want, but we have to get out of here.
All right, I'm gonna
As you
slow
can hear it,
down.
Club, you know what it sounds like when a door breaker bot is being attached.
Oh
Pip, is
yeah.
there...
Oh yeah, it's got clamps. Okay. Mhm.
Was I able to get a good idea of how many people are out there?
So many crowding around, watching to see somebody get arrested.
Alex, what were you saying?
Is there like an exit off the back roof or something? Maybe
That's exactly
is this
what I
like
was
up
gonna
against the hill or what?
Back balcony, into the alley, across the rooftops. That's our best bet.
Yeah, all the buildings are so bunched up together here.
You can get pretty far. They can only block off so many streets and alleys. We can get pretty far on the
Club, you know they
fire
will be
escapes.
They will be trying to set up a perimeter right now.
It's
longer
really
you
hard
wait-
in this part of town.
Yeah,
It's
we have
really
to get
hard
out.
in this part of town. The longer you wait, the tighter it's going to get.
We gotta
Yeah,
get
you must
upstairs.
know some weird way, but one sec. Hold on, let me do this. Jolting surge on the doors.
You just hear the clamps start to dig into the door, and then you're like, and outside, this steward agent who's hooking up the bot is just like launched backwards like 20 feet.
That's what you get. All right.
And then Club, you're like, I've used deadly force against an officer. We need to go.
No. There's built-in security in the door.
Cool. Yeah, where do you guys go?
That's the
Back.
thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna trust Pip because I don't know this area and I don't know what's going on, and my whole world is kind of turning upside down right now. So I'm like, Pip, you're in the lead. I'll follow you. Just get us out of here.
Sorry, my chair's falling apart.
Things
We
really
can have
are
a
changing.
circle around the normal ways. We have to find some, the passage or something. Come on. Soki got to know.
I've got a few.
Want to take a culture check, Pip?
All right.
With a pretty hefty bonus because you're from here. And this
Great.
is your house.
This is your house.
No. Go there.
Like the 713 and a half trolley will be passing now. Jump!
Culture. Do I consider myself a hotshot pilot such that this would be, knowledge about hotshot pilot? Sorry.
You're getting a huge bonus, don't worry.
All right. D20 plus 4. 12.
Plus 10, because this is your house.
Nice.
Pip, where would you sneak out to when your parents weren't supposed to know? And where would Pip go? Would he go to a gladiator ring? Would he go to a secret mechanic place? Where would Pip go?
There's probably an underground hacking ring, right? We like bet machines.
Bot fighting?
The opera. No, if he told, hey, Dad, I'm going to the bot fighting, he'd be like, great, bet 20 on, on Grape Stomper, like,
Oh my god.
right?
Yeah, so where does Pip go where he doesn't want his family to know he's sneaking off to?
The opera.
All right, you know how to get
Wow.
to a Vesk opera house.
And you don't want to pay for the tickets either, so that's what I know. I know how to get into the part.
You get in the rafters.
I get in the rafters.
And anybody who goes to the opera knows you don't want to pay for the tickets.
No.
So Pip,
I
you're
wanna
out the
support
back
that.
door. You're running across the rooftops. And I'll take perception checks from anybody who's looking around. And hang on, I need to refresh real fast.
It's like my
Ooh,
fucking
okay.
middle name, except it's my first name.
17.
Boom.
Okay, there, fixed it. What'd you guys get?
I got a 19.
Fantastic.
17.
18.
17. 19, 18, 17.
You guys can all see there is a small steward skimmer trying to chase you across the rooftops.
Oh shit, they spotted us?
It hasn't spotted you yet, but it's looking for you.
Oh,
Is it like
okay.
a searchlight?
Yes, so it's big searchlight looking around. You think just again to be scary.
Can I try and shoot the light out?
You can definitely try.
What
gonna
would I
shoot
roll for
like
that?
that?
Just an
An
attack
an
roll?
attack roll.
It's a
Right,
trick.
right.
It's a trick shot, right?
I don't know how that works.
Sounds
I'm
like a
just
trick
gonna-
shot to me.
I don't know what
It's not gonna work.
you know fire, and the lasers kind of bounce off of it, and they start looking around, like where's that coming from? And you actually see a couple other people shoot at it.
Nice.
That part of town. So once
If I
someone
let it
starts
down?
the shooting, then they're like, "Hey, I didn't start it."
Yeah, everybody. There's like at least a half a dozen people taking little laser pot shots at this skimmer, and they bounce off harmlessly.
Oh,
You
Pip,
think
did you
one of the
asshole?
reasons
Is
did he?
coming with us?
He always is. I
Um,
assume he is.
Asshole, buy us some time. Asshole flies up, and I'm gonna have Asshole fly right in the path of the spotlight
Yeah.
to catch some attention and lead them off in the other direction.
Okay, so they see it, they catch it, they follow it a little bit. It's giving you a little bit of a lead before it breaks off of the drone and comes back to you.
Okay.
You've increased your lead. Pip, there's a part coming up where you have to go down onto the street and cross a street into another alley, and there is a steward truck down there.
Shit.
They haven't set up the perimeter yet, but they're starting to. It seems like they were told that you guys fled, and they're trying to expand the perimeter.
Can we get like half a block further from here, or no? Is the only way down?
You could probably try to get half a block further than here, but it's not easy. It would require checks.
I'm gonna say over comms, I got this. Can I ask a question? Sorry about this scene.
Mhm.
Physically, if I jumped down onto the truck, would it be possible for me to jump back onto a roof afterward?
How tall?
You
are
could
the
jump. The buildings are pretty
I'm pretty
tall,
tall.
but you could jump off of the truck onto like a fire escape.
Okay.
Jump like off of a fire escape onto
Am
the
I
truck
within-
onto
am I
another fire escape.
Am I within 30 feet of them?
You can be.
I would like to.
Not this instant, but you can get within 30 feet of them.
I would like.
and we'll zip line.
I would like to be within 30 feet of them and then telepathically communicate with them and be like, "Hey, over here! I saw them."
You can get within 30 feet on top of the building, looking down at them. You telepathically do that, and what you see one of them turn to the other and be like, "What? Where?" And the guy would say, "What? I didn't say anything."
And then I say telepathically to the other guy, be like, "Just there, down that alley," and like to the east, like whatever direction we're not going.
Yeah. And then one of them goes, "Wait, one of them was a Lashunta, wasn't they? Oh yeah, they're around here somewhere." And they start like looking around, and they like go inside the store there.
While that's happening, I'm assuming you guys are carrying on.
They're all confused. They're looking around. They know you're within 30 feet of them, but they're not sure where.
I'm on my tip cloves.
I'll take stealth checks from everybody else.
Fuck.
Yeah, I guess my idea is if they can get down to go behind where the truck is parked in that alley and then go back up,
Yeah.
that would be ideal.
Percy,
I'm quite sneaky.
31 for Percy, 18 for Pip.
15.
Come on, Clue.
that's actually club just enough. Percy, you land silently like Black Panther. You tuck and roll. You're in the alley while they're sort of like yelling at each other and like searching around, looking for Mainala. Well, you guys are maybe like 60 feet away from them. Pip, you drop down. You're a small Yosoki. You don't stick out here. And you across the street. Klob, you super stick out.
Yeah.
You fall off of the fire escape into a pile of garbage.
Oh
You
no.
come up and you've got this tarp on you, and you're going as you stumble across the street. And a few of them look at you as if to say, like, "Stop!" And then they see a crazy cowman flailing around, and they're like, "Oh no."
And I'm just gonna be like, got a bottle. Yeah,
They're like, "Get out of here, old man!"
2 credits. Just need 2.
I said, "Get out of here!"
Okay.
And you get past.
Well done.
And Ollie,
Get it
you
'cause
see
you're a cow.
them. You see them go inside the store you're above. You hear some angry shouting, and then you hear footsteps coming up the stairs, as if they're hunting around for you.
When they went in the store, could I try to go behind the truck?
Definitely, give me a stealth check.
I would do that.
And then there were 2.
Then +6, so 12. Not very good.
Well, let's see what they're doing. No, 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 no. I'm on the wrong page. Wow, they rolled really, really poorly.
Wow. Cat
One
butt.
of them rolled
Big time.
a 14, and the other one rolled a 2. So you jump down, and the ones who are inside don't notice you, but the one who does see you says, "Hey, stop!" and comes around the corner into the alley.
Daze is at will, so I'm gonna try it again. Right?
We're already on the other side of the alley and like up the fire escape.
Oh yeah,
I whip out the sniper rifle and I've got it trained down there in case shit gets hairy.
He does a will save to negate this effect, and if he has resistance to spells, it works against this.
he does not have resistance to spells.
Hi, you know.
He got a 14.
It is 14, so I think he is not dazed. I think that's
He's
how
not dazed.
Yeah. Okay. Then, how far away is he from me?
25 feet.
Just
This is sort of like the instant where he's about to draw his like stun pistol. Like it's not out of the holster yet. He's still going like stop.
yeah, I know. I just don't have a good way. I don't want to stand here and fight him and engage. I want to just incapacitate him enough to get away, and I don't know a good way to do that.
He's not totally kitted out like those other guys. He's like just a beat cop.
I shoot him.
Where?
If I can hit his hand where the gun is, I will.
Give me an attack roll.
All right, it's gonna end badly. Plus 5. Ugh. Sorry, cat jumped off me. 9. No.
You shoot, but he's kind of he just sort of moves at the last second, and it's sort of off the ground next to him, and you startle him, like he like draws really quickly and just sort of like fires wide, like he misses Maynala with his first shot because he's being shot at.
Get out of there, Nala!
You have a silent sniper rifle, don't you?
I do believe.
Cool. Then the other cops don't hear that.
I mean, they hear it. It's just not
They hear.
nearly as.
"Pew!" This is a future suppressor that actually makes it quiet.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a modern suppressor that does not make it quiet. So you're up there and you're like, "Psst."
If I can just try to run, I will. But if I think he has a good chance to shoot me again, I'll close the distance and just try to punch him, I guess.
You think you can get far enough away? He's trying to like get his gun ready and talk into his radio at the same time, but he's stuttering because he's also trying to just like dive behind a trash can. And you're able to get away as he sort of takes some laser pot shots at you. And you're able to get up the fire escape and head off across rooftops some more.
Okay.
Pip, you duck left under a bunch of these favela-like structures that obscure you from the sky. You come out and you duck down through a bunch of boarding houses, one of which used to be an old folks' home and is now a bordello.
It's a bordello.
It's a brothel.
Interesting transition.
It's a fancy brothel.
You know, you like just jump in through a window and you run through it. Which you realize, wow, I'm glad this wasn't like this when I was a kid, because when I was a kid it was just cute that I ran past all the old people. And from here you get out, crawl through a burned out building, and come in through a broken window up high that you see they've repaired since you lived here, so you break it again.
And this is this always happens. Like the opera house was built older, and so it's in not so great a part of town. And it was like they were hoping to revitalize this part of the town, and it didn't happen.
And really now it's this Vesk opera house that the Vesk locals go to and put on shows. You crawl up here. You're up in the rafters in what used to be storage for like props and costumes. All dusty and forgotten. You think it's not easy to get up here. And down there, they don't really do big productions. It's just like people show up and do them. and you think you're safe up here. You hear the skimmer fly over.
Is there opera going on right now?
You sort of lean out where you can see down onto the stage, and there is a small production. Yeah. There is a small production of, let's see, what is this
This isn't working.
opera called?
It's also Vesk, so they got weird sounds.
It's very Klingon.
Yeah, I was gonna say Klingon opera. There's Aktu and Mylota.
This one is called Svobid's Ballad.
Svobid's Ballad.
Zvobid.
You remember it fondly. It's a good one. There's lots of sword fights, romance. It's an adventure story. A tragedy. Svobid does die at the end. Spoilers.
Damn it.
But it's romantic and adventurous, and you really like this one song in the middle when he confronts the evil knight.
And
it's really good. They're pretty good.
Scaramouche, Scaramouche, flee the fandango.
Yeah, no, this you liked this one when you were a kid. Up here, there's dusty costumes, dusty props, pieces of sets. You always imagined this place in its heyday doing these big, grand productions, but it hasn't done one in a long time. And here you are, all four of you,
Should we
hiding
stay for
from the
show?
hiding from the Stooges.
It's a pretty good place to chill out. I mean,
see,
when
yeah.
the opera dismisses, we can just funnel out with all the people.
yeah,
I don't think they'll be looking.
enjoy the show in the meantime.
Oh wait, sorry. You said there's sets and all these things. Are we backstage?
Yeah,
You're
we're
up
up-
high.
We're in the storage upstairs.
old
Yeah.
prop
There's
storage.
Oh, can I look through and see what kind of disguise things they have? Because I have a pretty good disguise check, and I'm wondering if I could disguise us.
There's all kinds of old Vesk opera costumes up here.
Oh, that's
Okay.
a great idea.
I'll pick through and see if there's any pieces we could use that would be effective. But yeah,
Give me a disguise check
is this for each person or for everyone?
for everybody, because you're coming up with disguises for everyone.
Okay. These are roll bad. You only have one chance to roll that.
Take 10, take 20.
Well, I
We're
don't
not in a
think
rush.
Yeah, that's true. We do have time. The opera's playing. We can just like find
Okay.
disguises right
If
here, right?
I take, am I?
It's about 2 hours long, and you think you're about halfway through.
Yeah, Svobid hasn't even made it to the castle yet. I mean,
You familiar?
I feel.
oh, not just in past. I mean, everyone knows the basic stories of some of these things. It's like common knowledge.
How do you feel about the actress playing?
She's a bit pitchy,
Ivanka.
but I mean,
But yeah, I will pick.
the actress playing Vraze is the love
Yeah.
interest.
She's good. She's a little pitchy on the high notes.
She's a little pitchy, clearly an amateur. This is not an easy role.
This is
The one in the summer
understudy.
16 years ago was perfect. She went on to bigger things, though.
She was the understudy.
She doesn't have the range.
Water.
She'd be better as barmaid number 3.
I have a distinct feeling Pip had a crush on at least one Vesk opera singer.
oh, absolutely.
Posters on your wall.
Well, no, because I wasn't. It was a secret, so
Oh, posters on your secret wall.
I will. If you are allowing me to take 20, then the check is 28.
You can take 10 because you only have an hour to put together 4 convincing costumes with Vesk outfits.
Yeah, is 18 good enough, you guys, or should I roll?
I tried to assist also.
You can assist, yeah.
Because I want to find a costume for me because that's hard.
That's what I was.
and that'll get you up to 20, which is probably good enough.
Yeah, I got an
Assist
18.
stack also.
Oh, fuck it, Wallace's. I'm good at disguise.
I am way too distracted by the opera.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
that's fine. You can do whatever you want.
I'll be like, yeah, I'll help you.
You know, Pip keeps going through the costumes and like finding, the
Oh,
Dread
I remember
Pirate
when they wore
Roberts
this.
costume, or the Staff of Wisdom from that one play he likes.
You're like, look, guys, I'm this character. And we're like, I don't. Who?
That's
I'm
great.
Gelrock the Wise.
Awesome.
You shall not pass, right? Right?
Oh, I love
What?
that one. So yeah, a 20. You put together a big costume for Clob, and then you put together a costume that requires Pip to sit on Percy's shoulders.
Can I oppose this?
You assisted with it. Apparently, you were fine with it.
But
Way
Clob,
better.
you'll say it looks pretty good.
Man, look at this.
It
This
looks
is my
weird,
fur
but
hat.
they've definitely got like the broad shoulders, and Pip's got like the veil over his muzzle. So he just looks like an elderly Vesk.
Don't worry, it's not a hat, it's a crown.
And
Actually,
Maynala,
it's a
you
muzzle,
put
sorry.
together a costume for yourself as well. So
Cool.
yeah, you guys have costumes. Phobad drinks the poison, which kills him and allows
Not before his
his-
final song.
his final song, his death song.
Yeah, it's him
Poison.
dying and he's singing the whole time, which never makes sense.
Dies, and his death breaks
Oh,
the
I
spell,
die,
which allows his
Horatio.
family and his lover to escape the clutches of the evil king.
Wow, that's really moving.
And then she kills the evil king.
Awesome.
Well,
And then the curtains fall and there's roaring. But it sounds like you can't see the audience from here. It sounds like there's not very many people down there.
Vomitorium may
I'm
not be as
gonna
packed as I
say-
expected.
To Pip, what happened to the communicator?
Clob's got it, right?
I got it right here.
Pop's got it.
It's like a briefcase.
It's much smaller on me than it is
Oh,
on
man.
Pip.
Yeah.
I can actually hold it.
I'm gonna say
It's like
look,
this for me.
Yeah.
I'll say, look, I don't know what's going on, which way up is right now, but
It's all confusing.
whatever those stewards wanted, it wasn't normal. I know that now. It wouldn't even be reasoned with. Is there? I need you to check something,
Okay.
and I'm gonna show him all of you, my steward badge, and I'll say, you need to find out if there's location tracking or anything like that in these. And if there is, we have to get rid of them now.
Or you could just get
We
rid of them
3D
now
printed
anyway.
these, right? But I
No,
suppose
because they have a specific number keyed to them, so if they find it lying around, they'll know where I was.
Was. Keyword.
They'll
Yeah.
have some kind of physical evidence that I resisted arrest. Right now, they only have that guy's word.
Oh, fine. Here, give it to me.
Want an engineer check?
Oh, one sec. Let me. I transfer charge out from that into just some benign battery or whatever, or my ammo clip, just to make sure that it doesn't have any booby traps.
Oh, sure. I can overload electronic devices,
Yes, you can.
so I just do that. Hand me that, and I go.
You go, "Bzzz," and the way it reacts, you think there was no active tracking inside of it. If there was, it would have popped.
Yeah, I just
Um,
fry it.
Yeah, but you can fry it.
I think we should do that to all of them.
Yeah, I do to all of them.
Yeah, and then leave them in some garbage heap somewhere. Probably
Not to me.
no reason. Wait, do we want to keep these for some reason?
Sentimental. Maybe
if
it
we
was
need
a
to get
sign
back
of,
in the-
becoming something, even though everyone told you were worthless all your life and you never make anything, you never affect any change, never have any ability to, make the world a better place. Yeah, we can toss them out. It's fine.
Yeah, that seems like good reasons.
I'm gonna slow pat Percy.
We have the fab plans. We can refab whenever we want.
That's true. Okay, here you go.
Yeah, I don't. Nothing that he gave us yet is evidence enough on its own. We need to get back to the ship, analyze those files. Where's the ship right now?
Pretty far.
We gotta
in the
get to
desert
before
still.
they do, before they impound it or God knows what.
I'm gonna try and connect to Bree over comms. Bree,
What do they do? Do they put a boot on spaceships?
Bree, can
Yeah.
you come
It's
in?
just
Are
really
you there?
heavy.
Fuck! God damn it! What?
Is the
Sorry,
ship all
I'm
right?
angry. Yes, I'm not. The reactor room's
Chicken?
2,000 degrees.
Well, that's the temperature it's supposed to be.
I'm so uncomfortable.
All right. Have Chicken keep an eye out for some stooges might be coming that way. We'll try and beat them there, but we've got a tail.
She says, "How are you getting back?"
Pip, don't you always have a tail?
I'll tell you when we know.
Okay.
Be
You
ready.
see her kind of put the phone down and not hang up, and you see that she's like in this tiny crawl space that's very easy for you, but is like really terrible for her.
I can like stand in
Ready
it.
and like trying to reach this thing with her little Omni tool arm, and it's not quite long enough.
Is the ship not ready to take off yet?
It's almost ready.
I'm gonna say.
Percy, how did you get here?
I'm gonna. Oh,
Percy,
Got the train.
All right.
yes, Percy definitely caught the train.
I'm gonna say. Bree, I know this is tight, but you need to do everything you can to get that ship ready to take the hell off of this damn planet as soon as we get back.
You gotta leave.
Oh,
Damn.
Blood Club, electrocute a stooge? God damn it. He likes doing that.
And
Okay.
other things happened.
You saw that? That was great. They didn't know it was me, did they? It was the door. I mean, I didn't do that.
Where's my lawyer?
I mean, what shock?
See you soon. Yeah, I mean, we could get a cab. What's the fastest way out of here?
Your skimmer.
Yeah, but it's gone. I'm sure.
Our skimmer? No, we parked it. I forget where.
At your
You
house.
parked it outside of town at Percy's parents' house.
Oh,
Yeah.
and we need to resettle them on Castroville.
At their house or where they're staying right now?
Where they're staying.
So we can head there. The Stooges might already be there.
They wouldn't know where my family.
Can you send asshole to
Yeah, because they don't know where your family's staying.
It's like a refugee
not-
camp right now.
They don't have an address.
Yeah,
Do you
I can
think
barely find them.
Let's go there.
on them would
Okay, but
Maybe
send
we can-
asshole ahead of us wherever we go to scout.
Makes sense. Asshole.
Asshole goes ahead of you to scout, and using Asshole and some cloaks and your disguises and the fact that it's an acid rainy evening in Arl, it's really pretty easy to slip around. Lots of people trying to hide, so it's really hard for Stooges to know exactly who they're looking for. You see there are a couple like random Yosoki or Noir who get stopped. But you do make it to Percy's
Profiling.
place. Your parents are there. They saw it on the news. They want to know what's going on. And your skimmer is camouflaged nearby.
Uh,
Parking's free here.
I'm gonna tell Percy telepathically, like, these are your parents. You can tell them whatever you want. But if you don't tell them the truth, I probably will.
I would tell them the truth.
Nala, what is it with you and telling the truth?
Habitual problem.
Problem's right. I'll get the skimmer running.
They understand, and they're glad you're not hurt, and they're glad you're getting out of town.
Yeah, you
they're
guys might
so-
want to use a fake name anytime you travel. I know you're planning on packing out soon.
We will. Good luck. Stay
how much-
safe.
No, I don't want you running.
How much money do I have?
I don't know.
I already gave him a fuck ton of money.
That's a you question.
We have lots of money. Why?
I know
Yeah.
that she already gave them a lot of money, but can I like give them like 100 credits?
You easily have 100 credits.
Cool. I'm gonna
I
give
think
them
we had
another-
like 900 each or some shit.
Yeah, I want to
A
give
lot.
them like 100 credits to just be like, I'm gonna try to do everything I can to help you resettle somewhere better as soon as all this is figured out. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I just feel really bad. They seem like good people. Okay.
Start up the skimmer.
Touch, guys.
You go out to the skimmer, and Percy, one of your brothers, one of your next, you're the oldest, and the next youngest brother is there, and he's got this big sort of double-barreled scattergun, and he's sitting on the back of the skimmer, and you know for a fact that gun doesn't work. It's
What,
just meant to be scary.
What you doing with that?
He was guarding it for us.
Guarding the skimmer. Don't want somebody trying to loot it.
Oh, good job. Don't flash that at just anybody though. There's a lot of trigger happy folks around here. I don't
I'm
want you
not
getting-
dumb, Percy.
I know. I mean, you're kind of dumb. Not that dumb.
Get back off this planet. I'm already sick of you.
Alright,
And he hugs you.
see ya.
You guys get off. You fire up the engine. You get going. Percy, you haven't been in the skimmer before. And now that you are, you realize it's a model you recognize. they're old and junky, and their engines burn really hot. And you know how to, hot wire in an afterburner on these things.
Nice.
You paint it red because the red ones go faster.
Yes. No. Specifically a red stripe.
You know that if you open up this one panel, you can sort of take a little tap off the fuel and just put it directly into the drive cone, and it ruins the engine. Really quickly,
we don't need
but
this.
you go very fast.
Wait, where did we get this?
Sergeant Bow.
They don't need it. That's fine. We've contributed enough. We can burn one skimmer.
Okay.
I'll take an easy engineering check.
Awesome. Boom.
And you
Flex tape.
you flex tape that thing on there, and then Pip, you feel the ship just start to accelerate. You're not touching the throttle, but you're going faster.
Nice.
And all your readouts for your drive cone are all like red, 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 red.
Are you sure
There's
this
a
is
small chance of explosion before we reach our destination.
As long as it's a small chance.
The good news is we're burning through fuel so fast that it won't be that big of an explosion.
What did he say? Going so fast.
Yep. You climb up to a really high altitude so you can go fast, and you cut this trip in half.
Keep your mouth shut for bugs.
Up high, you pull the cord out, pull that little tube out, cut the engine, extend the emergency glide wings, and you're actually able to glide this thing back to your ship.
Nice.
Great landing.
Back on the farm.
Well, are we going to get off the planet right now? I mean,
Are we
gotta
good? Is area secure?
You don't see anybody around.
Bree, it's us on the skimmer.
Nice landing. Definitely Club was not driving.
Definitely first he was driving and rigged this thing in God knows what way. Right.
Is the ship ready to start?
It'll fly a little.
Oh god! I immediately climb up the side of the ship into the airlock, and head straight to the engine room.
I'm gonna
Right before you do, Cell comes out, your sister,
I was gonna talk to Sal, so yeah.
and she hugs you goodbye and says, "The family called and told me everything. Stay safe out there." You look back, that shed that had that old generator in it is empty.
Why?
Pip, once you go inside, you see they used it, they cannibalized it to fix your ship. It seems Bree convinced the farmer to donate it.
That was nice.
Sweet.
We should tip the farmer.
Don't you think she probably already paid the farmer? Convince is
Bree, did you pay the farmer?
What? No.
We should pay the farmer.
I mean, well, the farmer didn't ask to get paid, so I'm okay, fine.
Do we want to?
He's giving us something. Yeah, I feel like we should.
No, I promised him the ship
Did,
when we're done with it.
oh,
This ship?
This ship.
the Interceptor?
My ship.
Better ship. A
I
faster
didn't
ship.
mean it.
This ship. That ship.
Pip, go thank him and pay him something so we can get out of here with no more strings attached.
Fine. How much does the generator cost these days?
You go talk to him, and you rapidly realize that if you gave him like 100 credits, he'd feel like he's winning.
Great. I give him 100 credits.
You're able to get on the ship. It's rickety. Your exhausts are blown out, weird black stuff. You don't know what it is, but you think she's orbit capable.
All right.
You,
Wait. Oh, before we take off, can Klob, anybody, do a sweep of the ship for anything?
Yeah, I can use detect magic and do a 1 minute sweep. I can use it twice. Wait, no. Yeah, I can use it 2 or 3 times right now.
you use that, do a thorough sweep, clean.
We've been in steward airlocks. We should definitely make sure we're not tracked.
Yeah, that'll detect those too. They need to be battery powered.
Yeah. You guys, it's ugly, but you get into orbit, and your drift drive still works just fine.
I've just been in the engine room fixing all the shit that Bree fixed. Refixing.
For the most part, she fixed it okay. She appears to know that she is fixing things you're going to refix, and you appreciate that.
like
She
there's the
didn't screw the bolts in all the way.
right.
Stuff is like zip tied instead of glued, and like, you know, she knows how you are.
Good.
So you guys are up in space. Everything works just fine. Landing's going to be tricky.
Okay.
Okay, so big picture plan here. Are we going to Castroville?
I don't know.
Do we want to try and bring Dives in on this? I feel like we can trust him, even though he's working for, you know who.
Okay, let me tell you right now, cards on the table, we cannot trust Dives. Dives isn't what he seems to any of us, and I know that much. That's the only thing I know. The only thing I know is to not trust Dives.
He's good at his job. That doesn't mean he's a bad person.
When anybody's that good at anything, they're not just doing it for the money.
I mean, I agree that not trusting Dives is the correct option at all times.
Oddly, we're in
He
agreement.
might have some insight. He might have valuable information that can help us.
Here's the thing. He's either on the inside working against her, or he's her right-hand man.
Here's the thing. He doesn't know that we have all of this information.
What he
Right.
does know is that we offered the communicator, and then when they showed up, they tried to arrest us. And
You-
not really me. They tried to arrest me.
You told him that we talked with Jan.
We didn't tell him that we got any answers, though.
No, the first time.
I
He
know, but we
assumed
didn't
that
know
Jan
anything.
told us the shit, and then he sent the Stooges after us. That's the only explanation.
You believe everything that Jan said?
No, but some of it.
What do you believe and why?
The audio evidence paints Harper in a bad light. Whether or not she's going to try and destroy all of Castroville is a different thing. But at the very least, that audio evidence, if it's real, shows she was covering up something.
Can we just head into the drift and stay there for an indeterminate amount of time?
It can be very dangerous to hide in the drift, but you can totally hide in the drift.
There's all sorts of empty space to hide in. We
I
don't need to.
I think we should hide in the drift for a little bit, just long enough so that we can analyze that audio evidence and those files. And Percy and I need to look a lot closer at what those are and see if we can try to get something together in the lab.
What I'm saying is, she may or may not be doing something so evil as destroying all of Castroville, but something is up. And there is something that Dives thought that Jan told us that is enough to turn him and the Stooges against us.
I hear that.
I'm
I
kind
think
of
we
scared
need to
of
keep
talking
digging
about it.
with what we already have. So let's hide in the drift, do our analysis, and then figure out something from there about where we're headed.
One long-term drift jump coming up.
And Pip, let your family know you're safe.
Yeah.
You're.
I'm
we see
fine,
Pip-
Mom. Send.
We see
You've got
Pip.
like 18 texts from your mom.
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Are you okay? Where are you? Where are you okay?
When did you last eat?
Just I'm
Did you
fine,
forget
Mom.
anything?
That's the whole
If you
response.
forgot something, where can I mail it?
Did you take some leftovers?
Pip goes over to the drift control panel, types in his entry point, and for the exit point, doesn't put any numbers, just 5 dashes, and then hits go. And you're in the drift.
Just don't catch any demons here in the warp. I mean,
There are demons. There are definitely demons.
I was
Whale.
making a Warhammer 40k reference.
And I'm telling you, there's definitely demons.
Awesome.
I was also gonna call myself a Skaven next, but
I don't feel good about that, knowing there's demons.
Man thing.
Okay, so here's the thing. If we go to Castroville, we infiltrate the base, we find the, weaponized mutagen. Either it's there and we can destroy it and we save a planet. Great. Worst case scenario, it's not there. We've been totally played by Jan. We die horrible deaths. But I feel like that's a fair risk.
Let's mitigate that till we do our analysis. Percy, come with me to the lab and let's look at this file he sent about the reagent and see what we can piece together.
Yeah, I really want to look into the protein molecule structure of
I agree.
the supposed
I'll take science
Biological.
checks.
Can I assist?
life science.
Life science?
Alex, I thought you wanted to do.
I would like to do physical science because I
I
reduced
thought
by
you would do
5.
physical because it's about protein folding, and I would do life. That's how we usually do it, but we don't have to.
If I'm allowed to do physical science, I'll do that.
You can totally do physical
I'm
science.
gonna
Great.
assist on the physical
I will do
science.
life science.
Reduce the DC by 5.
And I'd like to do computers on the audio file.
Do it.
Can I take 20?
Yeah,
Done.
Oh, can I?
Oh,
Wait.
should have done that.
you can
Well-
all take 20.
Great.
Oh, then 26.
32.
Pip, you're running it through your machines. It's garbled and low bandwidth
Right.
because it had to get sent through all this stuff. But you can't find any seams.
Okay.
Also 26.
You can't find any little sort of like strange like sign like weird flattening, like digital flattening of this audio file where it's been stitched together.
Mm-hmm.
You, you're not an expert in this, but you can't find anything.
Really good voice actor doing an impression.
There's no way to check for that.
Cross-check YouTube videos.
Proceed.
What I also want to do is like build a corpus of like every public speech that Harper's ever given, every recording of her, and build like an machine learning corpus. Like,
That already exists. You can just download that.
done and like run it against that to see like the percentage match and the confidence level.
This is just apps on your smartphone. It's
You
easy.
can get a Make Harper Say Dumb Stuff app.
So what I mean by a corpus is that like you can analyze her speech patterns and stuff like so
Oh,
like
yeah.
an AI. So the way AI works is you train it on a bunch of data, it develops a model,
Yeah,
and then
it's
you can
cool.
point it at new data and it can infer things about
You,
it.
you plug asshole into this and you teach asshole. You feed it with every piece of audio of Harper you have. And then you feed it this thing. And asshole comes back with indeterminate.
Okay. Generally, what you would get back out of something like that is like a percent similarity with an error bar.
Yeah, like a 75% similarity with like a pretty chunky error bar
Okay.
because she doesn't talk very much.
She's given speeches.
But she talks so little in this audio file.
Oh, in the file. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have a huge.
Percy, this thing looks incredibly aggressive. You're looking at the way this protein folds and the stuff it's talking about in this data, and you are seeing ways that it has been designed to, if one sort of agent that is meant to destroy it tries to unfold it in some way, it refolds in a new way. It's so intensely complicated.
Can we start trying to?
And as far as life science, you're looking through the data. This data is trials on a variety of life forms of all kinds.
Yeah.
And it kills most things.
Are there any other kinds of molecules I can cross-check that have similar structure that might cause a similar function so
Yes.
I can know what the effects would be?
Swarm, the only thing that comes up is swarm amniotic fluid. The
Oh!
stuff that allows the swarm
Shit.
to adapt to anything, which is their whole thing.
Okay. So that explains why they needed that.
We found that insectile amniotic fluid before. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
It does fit.
But then there's a bunch of other stuff put on it too.
Right.
Yeah, but how would he? I'm saying, I don't know if Jan knows enough about us to know that we would have that piece of the puzzle. So it's not like he placed this here for us.
I would like to potentially start running sequences to see if there would be any way, and I know that it seems to be refolding, but any way to damage the integrity of the
You
molecule.
can,
Yeah,
you
like
can
do some
totally get that
computer-
simulation going.
Yeah, computer simulations. I'll assist with that.
Yeah, you can just do it. You can just, I assume you take 20. You get a computer simulation running. It's running the computer's running everything it has in its database, plus a bunch of other stuff you gave it. And then it's just going to try random stuff.
Great.
Klava Minala, you do your life sciences check. And the tests they were doing where they were exposing every life form they could think of to this stuff. And it was effective across the board. Or rather, there was a 65% death rate across the board for all organisms.
So it's things like a prion disease that's universal.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's a 65% of a prion.
But jumping from different organisms from different planets.
Can you isolate is there like a genetic commonality between
With the
the
ones that survive.
35% that are not
That's
affected?
what I was going to check for next. That's what I'm curious about as well.
Yeah.
There's any
Yes, you
pattern.
can totally check.
Yeah.
So it becomes
And you
the gene therapy
I'll try
that
to
would
check
make you
that.
immune.
You find
rolled
one.
12. What skill should I?
We
be?
find one?
You take 20, you find one. It's not hard. There's this specific gene sequence that is identical among every single surviving subject.
Holy crap! Is it Gattaca?
That every single subject that survives has this identical gene sequence in them. And there's actually, you find a column where it says positive for this gene sequence. Yes, 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 yes. All the ones that died said no.
Okay. So if they know what it is and they know the antidote, essentially, just hyper simplify, then I don't know how valuable it is for us to also know the antidote.
They don't know that we know the antidote.
No, I'm saying
We could
okay,
develop a gene therapy and make everybody immune.
yeah, we
Develop a
don't-
gene therapy, or we can figure out what this gene codes for, and if it's just proteins, we could just synthesize the proteins.
My point is, if Jan also knows this information, and he's the one who sent us the file, he's for some reason ruled out mass immunization, and also you'd have to get people to believe you enough to consent to being immunized.
I don't
Yeah,
take
that's
him
an
as
issue.
the type that could really interpret this data besides the big number on the front that says 65. I also don't take him as the type that would think about doing a gene therapy.
Okay, but how are you going to convince 4-point-something billion
To be
people?
fair, he's done a lot of gene therapy on himself.
How are we going to convince the population to immunize themselves?
You're all going to die unless you get this gene therapy.
Only 2 of us are doctors.
Why don't we just spray the protein in the atmosphere? It'll be fine.
I don't know if that works that way. Oh, but I bet they do have hypospray in the future. That's always what I'm excited
They
about.
definitely have hypospray in the future. You have some hyposprays on board.
They're awesome. Yeah, I don't think it's possible to inoculate the entire population fast enough. We'd have to run a really sick media campaign and crush it, but also in a way that that Harper wouldn't find out about it. Unlikely.
I want to
This
take
is
a look
also
at the.
worst case scenario if it gets detonated. Hopefully, we can prevent that.
So I'm curious if the protein or whatever that this genetic sequence codes for, is it a structure their cells in such a way they're immune to it, or is it that whatever this protein is breaks down the evil half prion before it's able to do anything?
Is it like it causes a misforming of the substrate that it binds to, or is it actually something that actively fights it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hard to say.
Damn. Okay.
Damn it. Because
I would like to test on rats.
if it was something that actively fights it, we don't have the protein doesn't have to be in the people. It can be in the atmosphere. It can be wherever we find the stuff. We use it to neutralize the stuff once we find it.
Yeah.
But if it does it if it creates it binds the substrate thing that makes you just so that the prion thing can't bind to you and can't affect you, it's not, then you have to inoculate the whole population.
All I'm thinking is just the CD4 T cells don't bind.
Right.
These are things that your small lab, questions you can't answer with your small lab.
Okay.
Would we potentially?
And the simulations you have on access to in your computer can't simulate a whole cell based on DNA. You would need a big biomedical computer for that.
If we were able to get back in Brent access time again, the Xenomorph facility at Absalom Station, could we answer questions like this?
Potentially.
Okay. I don't know if their lab's sophisticated enough. Lily doesn't know that, but
The
Xenowardens
Xenowardens would have such equipment. As you guys are all talking and doing all your science, Klob, you're getting a call. You're getting a call from Jan
From Jan
on the thing.
on the thing, guys. Jan.
What? He said
Jan.
what?
Yeah, I thought this thing was one way.
me too. All right.
Has he been able to do that the whole time?
Well, I'll go to my room and answer it.
Oh, good. For a second, I thought I was going to be looking at a steward.
Why? We're not gonna. I mean,
He thought that the stewards
they had
killed
killed
us and
us.
took the thing.
You were very good. I couldn't even track you. I'm impressed.
Why do
Where
you?
did you end up? Did you end up at the concert hall, the underground tech ring, or the gladiator pit?
Gladiator pit.
Um,
I just picked the.
yeah, he moves on because he doesn't really care. Um, he says, has my evidence convinced you further?"
This agent definitely seems to be pretty horrible. I will give you that. It checks out as a catastrophic event, potentially.
Do you have anything that can? Oh, go ahead.
What you've given us has definitely complicated the picture. I'll say that much. How far along do you think that she is in her plans, if we are to believe these theories?
I expect she could deploy the agent at any day now. I know she's just left Absalom Station on her ship and is heading towards Castrovel now. I'm gathering my forces as we speak.
I'm
Do you have any evidence that connects Harper to the bioagent?
What I've shown you,
That didn't connect her to the bioagent. That connected her to you.
it's true. I know she's connected to the bioagent, but I have no physical evidence of that. Otherwise, I'd publish it by now.
I mean, why not? I get it that they're responsible, but it sounds like they're responsible for a lot of stuff. Why does this matter so much? Why can't you just forward this to the authorities? People get immunized for tons of things every single year. You can't just leave your planet and go on a bunch of space tours and not, get your shots.
I've sent anonymous tips to the Packed World's disease
The CDC.
order, basically. And I've received no response. I can only assume she has someone there filtering for anything that looks like what she's been working on.
We know that there's a possible gene therapy that would work.
Delightful. You should go get everyone immunized.
Would you call off your attack if we were able to do that?
No.
Lily wanted to ask a question earlier about my knowledge. How connected do I know how closely Xenowardens and stewards seem to work together?
Not particularly. They cooperate frequently, but they're totally different organizations.
Okay, cool. I basically want to know if I can continue to trust Babika.
You don't know.
I mean, she seemed all about like peace and love and nature and shit. I think
He says,
she's against genocide.
I'm heading to Castrovel. I'll be there in about 48 hours. I suppose you could always get Harper's side of the story.
All right, we can hang up on him now.
Do you have any leads on which station the agent's being held on?
No. I'm blowing them all up.
Great.
I don't like talking to this guy.
All right, hang up.
Okay, well, good talk. See ya.
I will say, the location of her diplomatic offices on Castrovel is like public knowledge.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
If we could try and figure out the base that has the most security, right? That could be a lead.
Okay. Either way, put us on course to go to Castrovel. We need to get there fast.
You guys have been floating around in the drift. It's maybe 6 hours in the drift before you pop out at Castrovel.
Okay, in that 6 hours, let's figure out what the hell's going on and what we're doing.
I like Percy's idea. See if there's a base with extra security.
All right, let's see what's in the
Obvious got a
public
place.
record, and then let's look at what's not in the public records.
So we got 42
I have a-
hours.
I have a question for Lincoln
Mhm.
about my character, and
Yep.
we can work this out later if you want.
Totally.
As an experienced underground conspiracy theorist,
Hmm.
would I be a member of any anarchist organizations that
Yes.
are about freedom of information?
Definitely.
I would like to hook up with a contact that I trust in that organization, give them most of the story, and tell them, keep an ear out. I might be sending you vital information that I will need you to get out to the public as fast and as effectively as possible.
Did you
You
just
reach out to
call WikiLeaks?
Yes.
you reach out to someone you know only as Yellow 47.
Julian Assange.
You know him only as Yellow 47. You assume they're male. You don't know.
It's called
Um,
starbursts.
And Percy, what's your like
My online
anarchist code
handle?
name? Your anarchist code name?
Ooh. It would.
It's not Cyper, your name, like, switched around.
No, that's too obvious. That could be traced back to me. That's what I was thinking. Like, I could go with something like Acatonian, but I don't want to imply where I'm from. I want to like send him. I want to like throw him off the case. So I want to find like an animal that's native to another planet.
Okay. Well, you can Google stuff while he talks to you. He accepts the data, and he says he'll be listening.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That way,
Um,
if we fail terribly, at least there's kind of a backup, and Harper can still go down.
You guys arrive. She has not. You do a little quick googling.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, there's 6 hours. Like, so presumably that doesn't take all 6 hours. I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Like, we want to be researching these bases, what's available like publicly before we get there to see if there's anything.
You can look at like satellite images and like public information about like when and where, which bases you can visit and which you can't. They all seem pretty standard. Some seem to have more security sometimes, and others more the other time. It's really hard to tell if one is like really high security.
Is Harper very public about her public, like, is she very open about her public appearances?
Yes.
When was the last time she like publicly visited any of these places?
A few weeks ago, she made an appearance at one of the bases. It was brief.
Okay.
Um,
She talked to her soldiers and told them what to do and what they were doing on their upcoming mission. It was brief.
Ha 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 ha
Maynala.
ha.
Yes.
After 6 hours, you guys can keep asking me questions as if you had researched them during those 6 hours as we move forward. You orbit a little bit, maybe thinking about where to dock or how to get down to the surface. Are you going to call a taxi? You get a text.
Okay.
Unknown number.
Mhm.
It says, "Let's talk."
Tame.
And an
Your
address.
boyfriend.
And then
An address.
an address. What's the address?
Harper's office.
I tell all y'all.
Oh. How?
It's a trap.
Yeah.
I don't know who to trust anymore.
I'd like to set up a dead man switch with all of the information about what's going on.
Yes, you can do that.
Word up.
You've got it like right there, and it will send a message
Wired
to
to
Yellow
my vitals.
47. Yellow 47 should it lose signal.
Shit.
I mean, if she's inviting us in, that's, that's a way in.
Her bitches just tried to arrest me. Arrest me. Me.
Yeah.
I'm a very.
I think they were trying to arrest all of us.
I was not resisting arrest until I needed to resist arrest because I should not have been arrested.
You should text back and be like, what are my assurances of safety? Like,
You say that?
I can say, yeah. What assurances can you provide me for my personal safety? And
The office is empty. I'm not even back yet. You're not wanted on this planet.
I mean, do you think send me an address? Like, do y'all think she's willing to talk over comms or no?
He said she's been really good about keeping this close to the chest. I'm willing to bet she's not gonna talk about it.
she
over
wants
an
to
open
talk
communication.
on her comm system in her office.
Yeah.
If we knew the name of her ship, I mean, where it was, we could try to send like an encrypted hail, but I don't.
It's
It's in the
Steward
drift.
Force 1.
Yeah, it's Steward Force 1, and it's in the drift. You can't call it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Stew Force.
I say we take the bait.
So we go. We got nothing
What?
else.
Why? Why? If you already believe Jan, why would you go to this meeting with her where you could potentially be arrested and also
Oh.
killed?
First of all, we want to get her side of the story, right? And make sure Jan's not playing us. Second of all, there's an entire planet at risk, and we don't have another way in.
All right. Before we go to any of this meeting, we're gonna inoculate ourselves. I assume we have just enough like materials to do that, maybe. But if we
Yeah,
don't, then I don't want to.
You could synthesize a
Do we
small
have
batch.
a PCR machine?
So so you're making a protein with this DNA, or are you trying
gene
to gene
therapy.
therapy yourself with it?
I want a gene therapy. The four of us, I guess, and Chicken and maybe Bree, but that's it.
In 6 hours, I'd say you can make that.
Okay.
Gene therapy.
PCR. We need some fucking nucleic acids. We need some fucking primers.
Yep, that was what I was just saying.
And we need some CRISPR-Cas9, bitch.
You take some bacteria, you lyse it, you put in the gene, you put the bacteria, in the thing.
You guys can do that.
It's the vector. It has to be a circular vector.
You infect all of your cells with that.
Jake, this is me knowing my shit. It's great.
The sort of synthetic viruses go start doing their work, and you all feel sick.
Great.
Ugh.
Yep, that makes sense.
Oh my god,
So
I feel like the
It'll
way
take
I
her a
feel.
bit to get here, so.
You're sick for a
actually-
few hours.
We sequenced our genes first and seen if any of us were naturally immune to it.
None of you were.
Oh, damn.
65%, one of us should be.
None of you were.
See,
We all would have gotten dusted.
I was
I
gonna
already
say, stopping
figured
this.
out which, if any of you were immune.
Did you roll for each of us?
None of you are immune.
Oh, what about chicken?
I said we
Uh,
put it in Chicken and Bree too.
You did chicken and brie? Awesome.
Chicken and brie. Sounds like we're making
Were either of
dinner.
them immune?
Would you like to wait longer for the sequences to sequence them?
No.
It's the future.
We
Gene
shift for
sequencing,
chicken
you
got
literally
worried
just
about his immune system.
you just touch a needle and then you're done.
It takes like an hour.
Oh, fine.
And
Yeah,
then
but you do them all in
put
parallel.
Yeah, you can do them on parallel. Let me roll for them.
If chicken already has it, then yeah, we should do that instead of risking it. Because if we're feeling sick, I'm worried about him.
Green chicken. Chicken has the gene. Brie does not.
Nice.
Chicken
Okay,
was a
Go
little-
chicken. Oh, so we could have actually isolated the gene from him to use in our PCR.
If we had known, yeah.
So yeah, you guys can fly the ship to the surface or get a taxi from orbit. If you fly the ship to the surface, you have to fly it like a plane.
And also the landing is all fucked up, and also the ship is crappy. Hey, I'm from this planet. Do I know a place where we could go get the ship kind of fixed up? It won't be like a cheap place or a great place, but it'll just be like the normal place people go to get their ship fixed up.
Plenty of places. The place Harper asked you to go is in the city of. Let me see if I'm saying this right. Kabarat. It's the big capital city.
Is there a city that's like?
It would definitely have facilities to fix up your ship.
Yeah, but is there like a neighboring city or an outskirts city or
And it's
stuff?
right on the Yarrow River.
Yarrow River Station?
Come on, you don't want to. Wait, what? What's that?
Remember the Jungle Box?
Was it called? Was it from Yarrow? No, I don't remember.
It's called Yarrow River Station
Oh, okay.
after this area.
There's no other big close cities to that.
Plus, there's another Yarrow River.
Is there I don't know, whatever the farthest edge of it is? Would you be good with that, Pip, being in that city, or do you want to go to a different city?
I missed the thing because I was coughing. What?
Fix up the ship a little bit more?
Uh,
Wherever we park, we should park in a place where we can keep getting the ship work done.
yeah. I'm gonna stay in the ship and work on the ship.
Okay.
You don't want to go to the meeting?
Well, the meeting. Well, I can dial in.
I'm not sure
Send
she'll let
asshole.
us.
All right. Well, I'll bring me and Asshole in. And Asshole's got a camera and records everything.
Could you just work on the ship through asshole remotely while we go to the meeting?
That's a great idea. That's what I do.
Asshole can't do anything big, but he can like do simple stuff.
Yeah, it's all
Um,
simple stuff at this point because
he's
the ship
got
is
little-
running.
Yeah.
I assume Pip
so you
has
can-
like motion gloves.
So you guys get out. Um, you've landed the ship at the shop. They're fixing it up. Kabaret is this beautiful city, towering spires covered in vegetation.
My planet is beautiful. Spoiler.
The only thing that really separates it from the jungle around it is that there is a wall around the city to keep the jungle out. So big, big, towerful silver spires, very Wakanda. And you guys are able to easily. There's like signs that point you towards, this Pact World's consulate. You can head to her office building. You see there are like tours. She's this sort of favorite daughter of Castrovel. There are tours where you can see like where she went to college and her home she grew up in, and Freedom Trail for Harper.
Before
Yes?
we leave,
Mhm.
can I make a body cam? Try and
Totally.
like
You got
hide
one.
it on my person.
It's on.
All right. I want to link the footage to the data that is wired to my dead man switch.
Yes, done.
You should also link it to that guy.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna send.
The dead
to.
man switch is basically if Percy dies, all this data immediately gets sent to the dude.
Shouldn't you just send him this anyway?
Well,
Like-
we don't want to tip off the stewards in case it gets out that we know this much information.
And that we're here.
All right.
Um,
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
you rent a cart, driving through the city towards her office building. You get there, and there is this huge landing pad, absolutely massive landing pad for the battleship Steward Force One that she travels around in. It's not there.
She said she wasn't here yet.
The
Checks
gates to the office are closed, but as you drive up to them, as if you are expected, they open for you.
Oh boy.
I hate it when we're expected.
You know the first thing about a lobster trap? It's really easy to get in.
I feel like we're talking to Strahd again. This is horrible.
Do you guys drive up the ramp, drive up the hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It closes behind you. You drive up the hill to this beautiful, modern, simple, mostly glass building, a very human structure in the middle of this sea of Lashunta architecture. You get to the front door, and as you come up to it, it unlocks for you. You can see in through the glass. There are lots of desks, lots of cubicles, lots of seating areas, but no computers, no furniture other than that. Just room plants and these desks with nobody in them.
Hey, it's
And
all
nothing
glass,
in
so we can get out easy.
them.
Just throw a stone.
If you let
Maybe
yourselves
shouldn't do
in,
that.
you can walk all the way up to the top floor, past the desk that should have a secretary in it. But instead, there is just a port for a personal terminal to be put in. And into Harper's office. It is very plain, simple. There is a wooden desk, a real wood desk. It's
That's
actually
offensive
made
to the
of.
trees.
It's made of. You get up to it. It's clearly this sort of very. It's like mahogany. It's like a nice Galarian wood.
Ooh.
There's a lot of
That's rare.
there's a lot of activist groups that are way against
Extremely rare, very fancy, but very plain. From the corner, along the ceiling, silently slides a telepresence hollow projector. And then appears, as if she was in the room with you, Counselor Harper. She stands there with this sort of military posture that makes this hologram, which you know is ephemeral, almost seem solid. She's in a position that would normally be relaxed with her hands clasped in front of her, but she looks as if she's at attention. And she waits.
You called us here.
She says, I assume you have questions.
Why
Why would you assume that?
why were we attacked?
I suppose I should apologize Dives can be overzealous.
She said, "Told you. You see, can't trust dives."
I think you startled him.
By doing the job we were hired to do?
All we've tried to do is cooperate.
I appreciate it.
Well, I don't appreciate being arrested as a show of appreciation.
I'll be sure to talk to him about it. I trust you've had a long conversation with Jan.
Wouldn't call it long.
Yeah, he's not one of many words.
One of the things I liked about him.
More like a roast.
So you know Jan.
I assume he told you that?
I'm asking you.
I did.
And you have lost that working relationship?
We have.
Through whose actions?
I would say his.
Why is that?
I don't think I need to tell you Jan's a monster. He was tougher and tougher to keep on a leash. He became dangerous. Less of a precision tool. And I decided to get rid of him.
And instead of just giving him an honorable discharge, you tried to kill him?
He was not in the stewards when I recruited him. He was discharged for various war crimes during the swarm,
Yeah, that checked
such as
out.
using civilians as bait.
Yeah, that...
I thought he might be useful.
Didn't answer the question.
Which was,
Percy said. So Percy said, "Did you? Yeah, you tried to kill him." She didn't
I
address
did try
that
to
part.
kill him. That is correct. Unsuccessfully.
Come, you're any better than him.
What's he been saying about me?
No, I mean,
The
if you-
hologram
you
walks
tried to
over
kill
and
him.
tries to touch the desk, but it can't because it's a hologram.
So, I don't think you can interact with that.
I imagine back on her ship, she's in the holodeck, and it is solid to her.
Yeah. She says, I have a feeling he showed you data he stole from me when he left.
He alluded to some evidence.
Anything he has is quite outdated. What does he think I'm doing with all of this?
What do you think he thinks you're doing with all of this?
If I know Jan, he probably thinks it's a weapon. I suppose he's sort of right. But I think he misunderstands who I plan on using it on.
What would you call it?
Our salvation. Our only hope.
From what? Salvation from what?
She sort of snaps her fingers, and all these holographic screens appear of carnage caused by the swarm.
We've all seen pictures of the swarm wars. What's
She
this-
says, I don't think they're over. Do you know how swarm reproduce? The hives drifting in deep space, just gathering nutrients until they can divide. Why do we think we got all of them? Why do we think they won't come back? They're an infestation.
Do you have evidence that they're returning? Or is this just a really invested hunch?
She says, don't you think it's worth it? We barely beat them the last time. I doubt we could beat them again. Not without this.
What is this to you?
She says, a
More
tool,
specific terms than salvation.
a powerful tool, a mutagen. She says, let me guess, he told you it was some kind of bioweapon.
He didn't tell us much.
She says,
You've been very good at covering your tracks.
she
From him.
brings up this other screen, more data. It looks just like the data Jan gave you, except with much more recent dates. And now the fatality rate is 6.5%. Between 6.5 and 6.8. Says we've been developing it further. This isn't meant to kill, it's meant to inoculate.
Against the swarm.
Against a different bioweapon. This mutagen will make anything exposed to it immune to the most aggressive bioweapon ever developed. Something that not even the swarm could adapt to, but with this gene sequence, we can.
So you would inoculate the population and then unleash this weapon to kill any swarm?
If the swarm ever attacked, yes. Leaving everything on the planet that has been exposed to this inoculation unharmed.
Why so secret about it then?
What's 6%? She looks at you and says, do you think the council would ever authorize something like this? Ever authorize paying this kind of price? Doing what needs to be done to protect the Pact Worlds? No, they're too squeamish. They're upset about sacrificing anything for safety. They're living fat and happy right now, feeling safe, pretending there's no threat.
Jan implied that you would use this move to maneuver yourself into a position of more power. Do you deny that an act like losing 6.5% of the population of your home world would play in your favor politically?
She wants to use it on the whole system. Sorry, this is Jake.
No.
Right? Like, she's got a big evil bioweapon. She wants to apply this thing to everybody, which will kill 6.5%.
That's the big picture, but for now we should just...
She says, what the public do after I'm done is up to them. I don't care if they re-elect me or if they decide to try me as a war criminal. My job will be done. I will have saved everyone.
Everyone but 6.5%.
Acceptable loss.
Better losses than we had during the war.
But you don't have a guarantee that the swarm will return. If you unleash this, you have a guarantee that 6.5% of the population will die.
And if I don't, I have a guarantee that if the swarm does return, we'll be defenseless.
If. That's a big if.
It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Why not release it and develop it further?
She says, this is as far as we've been able to develop it.
Yeah, by yourselves.
By myself. You don't understand the resources I have access to.
Well, one corporation and a smart dragon.
She says, cute. But Jan, even if I wanted to accelerate, even if I wanted to continue development, Jan's forced my hand. I have to release it now, or he'll destroy all of my work.
Sorry, so this is out of character. I'm making sure I understand this. She wants to inoculate everyone, but the inoculation is what kills people.
Right. So the mutagen...
6.5, 6% of the people exposed to it die. 6.5% of the people who are exposed to what you guys all just exposed yourselves to die.
Well, not what we know. We exposed ourselves to the thing that makes us not die when we're exposed to the mutagen.
Of what we were looking at.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like a small portion of people who get vaccines get really bad sicknesses from them. This is like that, but you just get the dead.
Basically.
So the mutagen that we were studying, we thought it was 65%. They've improved it. Now it only kills 6.5% of people. The other 93.5% of people
become immune to this other
to this third chemical thing, which is a big bioweapon that would kill the swarm.
Do we have our mental thing open?
I feel like you guys have worked out your signal with Maynala for her to do it.
Yeah, I can ping you.
Yeah.
Do we want to tell her that we've isolated the gene that appears to boost survivability when exposed to this and potentially offer that to her to give to people to reduce the number of 6.5% even further.
We were working off of old data.
But it could still help.
Sure,
right?
but we could apply that same technique to the. I can't believe she has like I couldn't believe that she hadn't thought of that before. But like,
I mean, it would require a 2-step inoculation, but it's better
right,
than nothing.
you take our inoculation, you take her inoculation, and then sure, she can have her big fat bioweapon against the swarm as long as the percent is not.
So do we want to give her that information? Because the risk is if she's lying about all this, and she knows that we found a workaround, she could find a workaround to our workaround.
Why don't we just make this all public and the court of public opinion can sort this out? The council can figure this shit out.
I
I
don't
love making things public.
I don't think we're gonna make it out of this room. So
I have
got
regard for that.
Got a data link. We still got a data link. This is all recorded.
I Lily doesn't know what to do. I'm stuck, so
Do we want to discuss the option of the gene therapy with her?
I don't think we should tip our hand. Because then
I
she'll
don't know
change.
if we can trust her.
Because then if Jan is telling the truth, she'll change it so that doesn't work anymore. And
That's
kill-
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the risk.
She says, I've exposed myself to it. It seemed wrong to risk the lives of so many without first trying it myself.
Prove it.
That
Let
was
me
your
see some of the
choice.
blood
This
samples.
Send us blood
What'd you
samples.
say?
Ooh, yeah, prove it. Send us blood samples.
Oh, that's good.
It's
This wouldn't be voluntary for the people you're planning on unleashing it on.
barely voluntary for me. Would you consider breathing voluntary, wearing armor in a war zone voluntary? This is a necessity to survive it.
Jan's right about one thing. She definitely doesn't think the Swarm Wars are over.
The thing is, if you're wearing armor on a battlefield, you, in one way or another, signed up to be there. You are taking innocent people and dropping a battlefield on them without their consent.
I'm not interested in debating.
You're saying take the armor or don't.
I'm not interested in debating the philosophy of my decision with 4 civilians and one
We're talking about
retired.
murdering a ton of people.
So I've been entrusted with making sure that the Pact Worlds are safe. Trillions of lives. It's a hard job, but someone has to do it.
But you're okay with sacrificing billions.
That's why I'm starting on my home. If I am not willing to put my family at risk with this, if I can't pull the trigger where it hurts the most, I don't deserve to. It's not the right decision.
Damn, Thanos getting the Soul Stone over here.
Right?
She's totally Thanos. 6%. 6.5%. Pippin, how many men did your unit lose on a successful mission?
A lot more than 6.5%, but that's not the point.
How is it not the point?
We're not in a war.
The swarm war isn't here. We've no evidence to say that they are coming. If they were at our doorstep, if we could see the hives at the edge of our system and know that they were coming, this would be an entirely different argument. But they're not. We beat them, and we could beat them again, but they're not.
We've beaten them. These hives can lie dormant for hundreds of years. How do we know they're not just drifting around in the diaspora, eating stray ships until they're ready to come back? There's no way to know.
What do you want out of this conversation? Do you really care if you can convince 4 people whether what you're doing is right or wrong?
She says,
Why do you want us here?
I've never explained it to anyone who didn't work for me. I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy.
Well, you're not listening to us.
Ethics committees are pretty damn useful. You might want to run stuff by them before you're in stage 10 of your plan.
She says, I'm glad that you 4, a vet, a criminal, a conspiracy theorist, and a diplomat, haven't been able to dissuade me.
Well, that's because you're crazy. I just.
She says, I've left
give
the
you a low
cave
five.
and I can't see the shadows anymore.
Oh damn. Solid reference. I didn't know they had
Cave
fucking.
too.
I didn't know that whole fucking story existed in this universe.
I'm
The
confused.
Dew.
What?
He's a Xeno seeker.
The shadows on the cave wall.
Yeah.
She
Is that
says,
Socrates?
uh,
What was that?
I think it's
Plato.
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 Ledoux.
Alex-
I
the
still don't
cave.
know what we're talking about.
Plato's allegory of the cave.
Yeah, Plato.
I will Google it.
Yeah, Jake,
Oh,
this is
Shinto.
why when people are like,
We'll do.
why do I have to take Hume? Why do I have to know things? This is why.
She says, I have to go. Please don't damage my desk when you search it. It's a family heirloom.
Oh man. What if I just damage 6.5% of it? I take a knife and I carve it.
He shrugs and she says, do what you have to do.
Castrovel is the jewel of the system.
And she hangs up. She dematerializes.
Alderaan is peaceful, please.
You're in the room with her desk.
Well, I'm a little worried about searching it. What if she rigged a bomb?
Yeah, it feels like there's a grenade in there.
Klob, can you detect?
Shit, your last one. This is the same day as before, right? There was only like a
It's
6
another
hour
day.
drive.
It's a new day.
Oh no!
Oh, it is. Okay, never mind.
It's
never
a
mind.
brand new day.
No, nothing.
problem.
Gonna die.
You're gonna die. Yeah, I'll use. There's nothing, right? It's just a normal
It's a
desk.
wooden desk.
I'm
Yeah.
not looking through the desk. I'm like,
You said 6.5%, right?
I'm feeling like a caged animal.
Oh, where we're damaging?
I gotta
Yeah.
get out of here.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, I'm carving shit in her desk.
I know what you mean, Maynala. But look, some things have to be done, and let's just call this the first prototype. Smash! Just destroy the whole thing.
Nice.
One of the drawers falls open. Most of them drawers are empty. It seems like she never puts things in the drawers except for one that falls open and a bunch of pieces of paper, honest to goodness paper with writing on them, come out.
What is that?
If you look at them, they're notes, and most of them are half done and scribbled out, and you're getting the real feel of a suicide note from these things, or at least a note you'd find when someone's dead. Some of them start, "My fellow citizen," and are scribbled out. Some of them start, "To who finds this letter," scribbled out. From one unlucky son of a bitch to another, scribbled out. One just starts, "Dear Mom," and that one is aggressively scribbled out.
No wonder she wanted to inoculate herself first. She didn't care if she died.
The most complete one you find says, "Dear everyone, I won't say I'm sorry. I won't say I'm sorry because I'm not. I don't regret what I've done. I hope you know that I am not a thoughtless person and that I did not take this decision lightly. Of course I didn't. What kind of monster could? I'm not a monster. I'm not a monster. I'm not a monster." And it says that over and over in more and more sort of frantic, aggressive, scratching hand.
Yeah, she's crazy.
She gone.
We need to kill her.
Yeah.
Or bring her to justice.
If you continue to search around,
Sure.
you find absolutely nothing,
Okay.
with the exception of a single hand terminal that looks like it fell between the secretary's desk and the wall. You pull it out, it's dead, but if you plug it in, it's the secretary's personal terminal. And on it is Harper's sort of personal calendar.
When is she planning to arrive here?
In 48 hours, or 45 hours now. 40 hours.
No, it was 42 when we got to
So
the
it's
planet.
40 now.
Okay.
But as you scroll back, you see tons and tons of dates and events and stuff moved around and things crossed through and stuff moved, except for one event that happens twice a week, every week, at the same time, without fail.
Regirax tea time.
No, a visit with Tohi Ro. And it has an address and, like where you can reach her in case of an emergency. And if you look it up, it's a small island in the middle of the Western Sea.
I knew a guy named Tohiro. He was like Galarian descendant, human.
Minala, you know that that island is very important spiritually. There's lots of these sort of Lashunta telepathic sort of monk gurus who live there. And as you think back, you know that Harper kind of was sort of devout in sort of the native Castrovellian sort of animist religion.
I think we have time to head there and do some digging if we want to.
What's an animist religion? I don't know.
Sounds like we're going to take a visit to Tohiro.
What time of this during the week was it?
I'll post a link in the channel to explain animist.
Okay.
Twice during the week when?
Like evenly spaced throughout the week.
But are we coming up on one?
Yeah, there's one today after she gets back. I mean, one went after she gets back.
So that's in like 3 days. 2.5.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 days. She has a meeting.
We could just go today. We only got 40
Oh.
hours.
Yeah, only if we think we will be shot on site, but we can get there pretty fast. We're already on the
Easily, yeah.
I say we head that way.
Let's go.
Cool.
Let's go say hi to Tohiro.
You fly low over the water just in case you don't want to get detected. You approach Tohiro.
Oh, I thought that was
You
gonna-
approach the island.
and
Which
and we
Fly
try to
under
hand
the
him
water, and we come
a
lightsaber.
lightsaber, and he throws it over his shoulder.
spoilers.
And then there's
The
a
first-
helicopter shot that circles us for way too long before the credits roll.
It's actually a plasma sword due to copyright.
You arrive, you're flying in low. The whole island is covered in this thick fog that's caused by these geysers that shoot up way far into the sky, thousands of feet into the sky, and create these crazy misty clouds all around it. And as you fly slowly into the clouds, water pattering on the windshield, you come up to Tohiro's home. Built into the crags, you're able to land the ship, hike up the hill, walk inside, and surrounded by these waterfalls that pass through this room and then deep, deep down into this island where they sort of rumble because the water's crashing so low below you, is a very, very elderly Lashunta meditating.
Whatever the the normal custom is, I do that. Whether it's just sit in front of him at a respectful distance and also meditate.
Will you use the
Or-
formal instead?
You
Which kind
do.
of
You
Lashunta?
sit down, you meditate. She opens her eyes and she says, "We have not met, but you feel familiar."
Did they feel familiar to me?
A little, yeah. Most of these sages kind of have that weird vibe of
Alright.
you know them.
I will say, you feel familiar as well. I come to seek guidance. My spirit is greatly troubled.
I sense it. And she stands up and walks over and gets you tea and pours tea for all of you. And she says, "Please share your troubles with me, and we can
Do they
work
have
through
the
them
priest
together."
where they don't tell anybody anything?
That's going to be for next week because we are going to
Okay.
stop right now. You have found Tohiro on this island whose name means peace, which is literally translated what it is in Lashunta, the island whose name means peace. And you're all sitting down for tea as we zoom out and see geyser. And further out, we see, as we zoom out even further of the planet, out past orbit, we see a fleet of pirate ships approaching the planet under minimum burn as to not be detected.
We still have like 40 hours.
Space is really big, and he's going really slow.
Okay.
If you like Jake, it's a cutaway instead.
Okay. Okay.
Reverse
It's a
thrust.
really far zoom out.
It's
You
a-
can't even see Castrovel.
No, it's a Lucas transition. Like the
No,
thing
the
pans up to
diamond-
space, and there's like a side wipe.
No,
Yes,
we're
we
zooming out the
pan.
entire time during the credits, and then after the credits.
Yes, yes. After the credits, it's Jan's ships approaching Castroville really slow.
And then an explosion, because explosions are cool, but really far. So.
In space.
And that is where we're going to end it tonight. Thank you again, our dear viewer,
We
for
had,
coming.
we had a couple viewers.
Ooh, a couple viewers. Hey,
This is compelling fiction.
I think it's pretty good.
I really like this. This is awesome.
This is a good
I'm
episode.
so stressed out.
Please join us again next week to see if Lily develops heart palpitations.
I'm like writing notes and just like panicking.
This is of all the episodes, this is the one I have the most notes for. My other ones I've got like 2 or 3 bullets and I'm missing a bunch of stuff. This is literally just pure notes, like
You
3
don't have
It's kind of a
pages.
lore dump. It's kind
You
of
don't
a
have
lore
the
dump.
conspiracy board like Percy.
I got
Um,
it. I'm gonna need
hope
a
to
new
see
one.
you all next week, Monday, same time, same channel. I believe Jake has a plug.
Yeah, if you liked this, you should also tune in this Wednesday, same time, 7:15 Pacific, same channel, for our D&D stream, Princes of Azamar. Our players are currently trying to negotiate with this king who's basically, well, he's not a king yet, he's a prince, and he's kind of a brat, a stuck-up brat, and they're trying to convince him to go to war, which he doesn't really seem into. But they've got all the advisors on his side, so maybe they can have a coup? We'll see this Wednesday. Tune in.
What to do? Have a coup.
Thank you so
Toodaloo.
much. Make sure you check your air filters and the seal on your helmet, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Ah.